right, left, politically.
Right.
Yeah.
In Against the Double Blackmail, you discuss the West's role in policing the international community, and you assert that the best way to oppose the New World Order is to create transnational institutions and political movements that will serve, and I'll get you some, serve to constrain the unlimited role of capital. Do you have any specific recommendations for how the left can begin to build such institutions and movements, especially given the fact that the left is so perennially disorganized?
Now I will give you the surprise of your lifetime. Can I give you, but then I will nonetheless elaborate it a little bit, a very short answer.
Okay.
No. That is to say, I don't bluff. I don't have, unfortunately, I don't have a big thick rabbit in my magician's hat, no. The only thing I am sure of is that I distrust this shift of problematic to this multiculturalist topics and, sorry, what's... sorry, did we miss one or what?
No.
Okay, that is to say, okay, but nonetheless, how should I put it? The first thing that I still claim, that I still stick to, is that the big problem, which I repeat in all my last books for me, is the way the new left abandoned the politicization of economics. Now, the idea is economics is a game to be played following its own rules, and you don't mix into it, it's depoliticized, so then the political battles are battles about cultural identity, religious identity, freedoms, and so on, ethnic, but not that. And in this I see the great danger. Why? Because I think that if we formulate the problem in this way, then we are opening the space for the new right because I don't know if this is evident in the States, it is partially, okay, but Buchanan is not to be taken so seriously. But in Europe, the new right, the new populist right is paradoxically the only remaining political force which still uses a certain anti-capitalist rhetoric. Le Pen in France presents himself as the advocate of workers' interests against the cosmopolitic non-national capital and so on and so on. So again, my first point would be that it's not so much creating institutions in the sense of naive sense of world parliament or whatsoever. It is, the crucial point is how to create an international political movement which would politicize economy itself. Of course, the dream of us was that maybe what started in Seattle a year ago would amount to something. I'm still skeptical about this, although as a naive old leftist, I still believe, here I stick to it to death, that this old Marxist logic of capitalism breeding its own, generating its own contradictions, that it is still active. I claim that what goes on today, for example in digital technology and so on, it is that a game is getting a little bit irrational. For example, nothing against Bill Gates, but when a certain person can get so fast, so rich and lose, then you see that at a certain point the game is totally irrational, in the sense that to become rich so easily, to become poor again, and all the problem of, okay, in a way I would define myself as a cyber communist, in the sense that I claim that what's going on today, doesn't it prove that the big problem with today's media is how to, companies often, like with DVD and so on, spend almost more money than on the product itself on preventing the free circulation of it. For example, do you know that with video cassettes, they spend enormous amount of money and they did solve the problem, even in two ways, I think. You have European and American way. The problem is, why would people buy taped videos? So how to prevent copying? And you probably know that in America, they cracked the problem. That is to say, with at least certain videos. If you play it on TV, you can see it. If you copy it, then the picture gets dark and white and dark, and it's a miracle how they achieved it, no? Because you would think the signal which comes out is just the signal of, the signal doesn't know if it goes to a TV set or to another recorder. But I don't know how they did solve the problem. In Europe, it's a different... But so my point is that phenomena like this irrational movement of this new technology stocks on the stock market, or all these problems of how to control circulation, do, I think, point in the direction of how should I put it, certain dimension is emerging from this new global economy, which I don't think that it will be able to maintain it within the confines, to control it within the confines of the standard market economy. Because let's just keep in mind this fundamental paradox, that we are no longer dealing with state versus the market. We need stronger and stronger state interventions to sustain the so-called market freedom itself. Isn't there a nice paradox that in order to maintain market competition, state had to intervene to split Microsoft and so on and so on. So again, what I claim, I still believe in an old-fashioned Marxist way, that although people think that now the capitalism is triumphing, it is, but I think it is generating a dynamic of its own which it will no longer be able to control. But on the other hand, I think all I am able to say today is that we will have to repoliticize economy, that this game of postmodern game of, the true political struggles are struggles for different identities and so on, that this is not enough. We should be honest enough to admit that this is not enough. About that, no, I'm quite honest in saying I don't have a solution.